Hello guys, welcome back to TFD, and once again, the WNBA just can't stop serving up headlines. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I absolutely love Sophie Cunningham's podcast. She's one of the few players who actually keeps it real. Every time she gets behind that mic, she drops something that makes the entire basketball world sit up. And this time, she dropped a bombshell. Sophie exposed that there are rules, yes, actual rules, in the WNBA rulebook that have allowed players to get away with targeting and even injuring Caitlin Clark. Now, this is wild, but are we really surprised? We've seen it all season long. The hard fouls, the missed calls, and the lack of protection for the league's biggest star. And who's at the top while all this chaos continues? Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner who somehow managed to let this nonsense slide time and time again. I mean, this is the same Cathy who's been running the league like it's a part-time hobby. The officiating has been so bad that people are starting to whisper about investigations, even talk of a possible WNBA RICO-type situation just to figure out what's really going on behind the scenes. But back to Sophie, one half of the Blonde Bombers, and of course part of that fan-favorite trio, Tres Leches. When someone like her, who's been in the trenches, starts talking about the rulebook being used as a shield for dirty play, you have to pay attention. This isn't fan speculation. It's coming straight from a player who's seen it firsthand. And then you've got Lexi Hull, Caitlin's Fever teammate, speaking in Glamour magazine about how players literally have to negotiate for better referees. Think about that for a second. In what world should professional athletes have to bargain for competent officiation? That should be the bare minimum. Cathy Engelbert should be leading the charge to ensure the WNBA has the best refs possible, not leaving players to beg for fairness in a collective bargaining agreement. This is exactly why so many fans are frustrated. Between Cathy's poor leadership, the lack of accountability, and players like Nneka Ogwumike making self-serving moves with Project B in the middle of CBA talks, the league is losing trust fast. But for now, let's take a listen to Sophie, because when she talks, you know she's not holding back.
The league is very physical, and I think it needs to be that way. Like, I'm all for that. I think that's part of being a pro. It's about being at the next level. It's about being around elite level athletes. And it's awesome to see strong women being able to play physical and showing young boys, young girls that it's okay to work hard, to sweat, to be physical, but also to enjoy what you do and love what you do. And so for me, I think this last season, I think that when it comes to maybe the physicality around the league, maybe it was a little bit too much.
Yeah, Sophie, a little bit too much, honestly. It went overboard. Everyone ended up banged up. It was way too physical. You saw emotions running high, Kelsey Plum tearing up at the podium, Gabby Williams breaking down. It was a lot. And when it came to Caitlin Clark, you already know. Players went extra physical with her every single game.
I think that what's considered a foul in the rule book maybe needs to change a little bit because the refs always kind of go back like, well, this is what it is in the handbook, and so this is why we call it. But I think
So apparently the WNBA still hasn't updated that outdated rule book the refs keep pretending to follow. I mean, seriously, it's like they're working off a manual written in 1998. Because according to that handbook, you can pretty much hit somebody upside the head with a sledgehammer, and it's still just play on. You can smack a player with a folding chair, throw them through a table, make it look like a full-blown WWE tables, ladders, and chairs match, shout out to the Dudley Boys, and somehow it's still not a foul. Like, what are we even doing here? Cathy Engelbert hasn't taken the time to sit down, update the rulebook, or even have a serious conversation with the referees about consistency and player safety. It's pure chaos out there. And I thought the league was all about this so-called freedom of movement. Weren't we told that was a point of emphasis? Because right now, the only thing moving freely is players getting body slammed with 0 calls. It's embarrassing for a professional league. You've got your biggest stars getting hacked, shoved, and tackled like it's an MMA cage fight, and nothing happens. No whistle, no review, no accountability. So yeah, maybe it's time for Cathy and her team to stop talking about growth, stop throwing buzzwords around, and actually fix the foundation of the game, starting with that ancient, broken rulebook.
the handbook maybe needs to evolve a little bit and get with the times. Because I feel like the majority of this season was how physical playoffs normally are. So playoff basketball is known to be more physical. You're not going to get calls. It's just a harder game. And everyone knows that. Ask any league around the world, playoffs are just different. But for us, I think you just saw a lot more injuries. You saw maybe just a lot more feistiness amongst the players and the coaches, a lot more people being vocal about it just because they thought that there was points where it was out of control, where we just need to dial it in a little bit. I think we should stay physical, but I think that the rest kind of need to be more disciplined from the beginning of the game and be more consistent, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that answers your question, but there's a lot of thoughts surrounding our physicality, the refs, how the game should be called in the regular season versus playoffs.
Well, the thing is, I understand that physicality rises in the playoffs. That's part of the game. It happens in the NBA too. Everyone tightens up on defense and the refs tend to swallow the whistle a little bit more. But what's happening in the WNBA regular season, that's a different story entirely. It looks like a prison yard brawl out there. Forget freedom of movement, it's more like survival of the fittest. Players are getting shoved, hacked, and downright assaulted under the basket, and it's just being allowed to happen. And here's what makes it worse, the inconsistency. You've got someone like A'ja Wilson shooting 17, 18, even 19 free throws in a single game, more than an entire opposing team combined. How is that even possible? Meanwhile, other players are getting decked to the floor and can't even get a whistle. It starts to feel like there are hidden agendas or at least a major lack of accountability. It's hard for fans to enjoy the product when every possession turns into a coin flip on whether or not the refs will actually do their jobs. And let's be honest, WNBA fans are already putting up with enough. Between all the missed layups, sloppy possessions, and inconsistent shooting, we're already giving the league grace. But when you add horrible officiating on top of that, it's unbearable. You're asking fans to invest in a product that doesn't even look professional at times. At this point, it feels like the refs don't even need qualifications to get hired. Like, what are the standards? Because the level of incompetence we've seen is wild. And Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner, has done absolutely nothing to address it. No accountability, no improvement, just the same robotic press conferences with empty words. And here's the real problem: leadership. Every top player who's supposed to be part of the players' union or leading the charge for better league conditions now has equity in other leagues. Think about that. Nneka Ogwumike is tied up with Project B. Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart are involved with Unrivaled. Even Kelsey Plum has a stake in Unrivaled. So who's really focused on fixing this league when everyone's got business interests elsewhere? As commissioner, Cathy should at least control the controllables. You can't make owners spend money or build new facilities. Fine, but you can ensure the league operates professionally. You can fix officiating. You can protect your players, especially your stars like Caitlin Clark. Instead, Engelbert acted arrogantly, brushing off criticism like it was noise from losers. Well, now the league is paying for that attitude. You allowed players to get targeted, you ignored the bad officiating, and you let the product suffer. Now it's time to face the consequences. The WNBA's credibility is on the line, and it's because leadership failed to act. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think about this.